Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's a girl Treasure, and if this is the first time here, please subscribe and always like my videos. And to my returning subscribers, I love you, and please always stay subscribed because we always have a good time on this channel. So today, quickly, there's something bothering me that I really want to share, and I titled it what we should know as adults before we start to have kids, because as children we grow into adults and tend to produce, have children. So lately, something has been bothering me, and I've done my research, and I've seen a couple of things, so I decided to come and share my opinions. And this is a very, very serious one. To tell you how serious I am, on my bio and my book, like I had to really go through this. And I was watching a movie today, and like I literally have done this before now, so I was just looking for the right time to come on set to do this video. So today I watched a movie that drew me back again to what I already put down. I said I was gonna share this video today, like I'm gonna do this video today. So guys, like I said before, yeah, so like I said, I know as adults, as parents, even as parents of our to our children, sometimes we go outside, we meet some set of kids with some amazing personalities. Now I'm not just talking about intelligence. So we go out to meet those kids, and you see their personality, the way they talk to people, the way they mingle, the kind of personality they show out. It got we adults, singles, married, expecting kids, adults in general, we get to blush over these kids and be like, wow, I love the way these kids talk. Oh, these kids is so emotional. These kids, please come closer. This video is for you. Okay, like I said, this kid's personality. And yeah, when we talk about personalities are what's really actually made up make up a child, make up an individual, make me are a person that I am. People say I love your personality. I love, in general, I think the person is trying to compliment your behavior, overview of your behavior. And again, today I'll be addressing that word personality, the sum up of it, the makeup of it. Nobody fall from the sky. I know there are other factors that can actually make up a child's personality, but specifically for the sake of this video, I'll be placing my focus on background. Yeah, background is one of my major topic, and as regard personality, because a background of a child, as we all know, majorly is where the child grows up, the people he mingles with, the people he gets to talk to, spend the night with, over and over again, because this routine keep repeating until the child gets to grow and decides to go into a full adult and go out into the world, probably some other places to explore and live life. So background are one of the factors that builds a child's personality before he or she becomes a full-grown adult. I know that there are special personalities that we have as individuals that maybe we might not have originated, or it came with us when we're coming to this world. But aside that, because of the background that we grew up, our personalities are mostly likely going to be influenced by the people we grew up with. So first of all, I'd like to describe the makeup of personalities, what makes up a personality. And this is a component, or I would say a makeup. Personality has been made up by few of this point of mine, which includes major traits, abilities, drive, emotional patterns, self-concept, values, interests. Like, these are what makes up a person's personality. And my reasons are because you see major traits, as its word implies, major traits. You could say these are some of the things we got from our parents, like that. Could be the eyes, the shape, of an individual. It's the makeup of your offspring. You don't just come with it. I don't know how to elaborate on that, but I know you already know what I'm trying to see when I'm talking about major traits. Then I get to talk about interest. Interest, that as it implies, interest, what you get to love, the things you have interest in. So why I'm linking that to why we should know how to do this before we start having kids, because most of the time we already grown from this background as individuals, and some of us have this interest, this self concepts, emotional patterns, the way we communicate to people, the way we get to things that interest us, you know as adults. When you don't work on things that interest you as an adult, definitely when you start to have a child tomorrow, that child is definitely going to pick one or two. So interest is one of the very, very major factor when it has to do with personalities, because we are definitely going to transfer whatever interest that we tend to have to our kids. One way or the other, our kids are going to be influenced by that same interest. So as an adult, you need to control what interests you, what you get to have interest on. Having a negative energy sometimes is a very bad thing to be interested in. And the way it is now, the world has evolved so much that we get to be informed. It's easy to tell what is right from wrong. So imagine being influenced for what you now. I'm not going to be saying the world's opinion is going to give you what is to pick an interest on what is wrong and right. You have the sensation, you have emotion, you have a conscience, so you should be able on your own to tell what is right. My rights might be different from your right, and my wrong, regardless of the opinions. I think we know when you have you will know when you have a good interest in something, on things that maybe you get to see, you hear, you listen to, you watch, stuff like that. They get to interest you. So as an adult, where we have to play our role is to cut it off, cut the negative ones out, and try to practice positive interests, because our parents, we all go from a society where our parents before now get to endure because of one or two reasons. They just have to tolerate some interest, some traits, some attitude. I don't want to divert actually, but my point is, you should mind what interests you what you pick interest in as an adult. And the second on my list is going to be drives. What drives you as an individual? What drives you as an adult? As a boy or a girl, you need to be watchful of what gets to drive you. And because this is one of a crucial part about the makeup of personality, in as much as it is easy to say, be there's a word to say, be an adult that you dreamed of as a child. Same goes the other way around, because whatever drives you, get to interest you when you're a child, is what you're definitely going to pick up when you get an adult. But sometimes it's not easy, because as a child, that's the way you see things, and when you get to be an adult, the mindset gets to change. So that's the same thing. As an adult, you and I already are. It's important to watch what drives you, what gives you a drive, what motivates you, because one way or the other is going to be linked to your offspring, and your children are going to be a partaker of that same drive. Imagine if it gets to be something that is not nice, it's going to tell on your children. And that's why today in our current world we have adults that crazy things drive them, and the other person that has a different background or personality get to match with this person. You see, they start having issues getting along, all because of carelessness of something that you took negligence of. Maybe it's less important, and get to influence you before time has gone far by, that you cannot change from those habits, you cannot change from those attitudes. It's already in you, it has already made up. So you just have to watch out. You have to look at for yourself, for the kind of kids that you want. Be the kind of kid that you want as well. You having an opposite kid sometimes it's possible, but you don't take chances. Okay, so that brings me to my next point, which is emotional patterns. Emotional patterns, this is what I really want to trade on the most, because emotional pattern is actually how you pattern your emotions around your kids, around your home, around people around you. Are you a saucy person? As an adult, I believe we should have a moderate way of doing things, even if you can't be so perfect. You know. I think a few months ago, I think last year it should be, when I was learning. I was acquiring some skills. So that day, on that particular day, my boss' parents get to visit her. So I was at a place, and everybody was actually busy. So I was trying to help with one way or two I could help. So the dad was around, and it was time, like the dad wanted a coffee. So the daughter was busy, and I was like, okay, I offered to help. I was like, sir, how am I going to do it? I actually helped him to put on the gas. I think that was what I did. And the next thing that came out from his mouth was, oh, you're the best. Thank you very much. You're the best. I was like, wow, this is what I can actually just do in my home, and nobody appreciates that. Like, nobody sees that. So I immediately I was like, oh, no wonder my boss is this kind of a sweet lady. Like, the way she talks, the way she applauds, the way she gives accolade and every little thing that makes sense, even when I get to do what I was asked to at that time of training, and it didn't come out perfectly. You could see her words of encouragement. She will start bullying me, or start telling me words that hurt. Aside the fact that I paid for my training, but I think all my life she's one of the sweetest person that I've met when it comes to using words. And I am very sure that she got that from my dad, because that day I could tell, mainly looking at everything, I could actually tell where she got that trait from. She got it from my dad, and I see the way she applies it in her home, in the marriage. The way she talks, the way she gets to relate with her husband. The patterns were so amazing. Like, I actually do trip for her marriage and her personally, because she got a good thing going for herself, and she didn't just come out, wake up, and when they start to behave like that, she actually watched somebody and say, oh, this is good, I want to copy, I want this, automatically get to go with her like that. So I also watched a movie, brings me to the movie I watched today, where the husband got married to her and talks to her anyhow, with no respect, even aside the fact that he loves her. He loved her, but his ways of communication were so bad. He doesn't know how to talk to her with respect, but he loved her. Do you get? So it brought her that, oh, he got that from his dad. When it was coming to the end of the movie, he actually said, oh, I watched my dad grow the family. My family was amazing, because he got a mother that doesn't complain doesn't mean that he realized that his mother can never be his wife, and the era of his mom was over. He's an adult, and things have evolved, like things have changed. But the way he governs his home was like as an adult, as a married man, was wrong, totally wrong, because he was always disrespecting and humiliating the wife, and he said he loved her, but because of his ego, how he has watched his father, because when the movie was going to an end, he said he watched his dad and copied that, because he felt that was a good way to handle home. So you can see where it leads. I was like, wow, so you mean this movie and I were talking the same, like, oh, I must do this video today. Like, I already written this down, this points down. I felt I was the only one seeing it. So this movie, like, expatiated on what I would love, what I am actually talking about today. So we're on the same vein, and I decided, like, okay, I'm going to share this video. I'm going to share my view. As an adult, we have to work on the way we communicate. You see some men, you see grown men, grown women, outside relationship, let's say in a relationship, there are some things you want to tell your partner, you don't know how to communicate, you don't know how to, use the simple word please, thank you, I love you, you don't know when to use it, when and how to communicate emotionally. And that's how you also, in the same thing, that's how you also get people that are easy to emotionally blackmail. You can blackmail them because, and they can't say anything because of how they grow up, the environment they get to grow in, the parents they've watched, the parents, it's really crazy. And I think we or adults need to work on that before we start having kids, because it's actually sweet to be a good person emotionally. And then this emotional pattern doesn't just stop in how you communicate, how you should treat people nicely. No, it also boils into how to speak for yourself, how to express yourself when you don't like things going on around you, how to talk. You put it out, let it out, let it go, talk about it. When you do these things, you get to see that life is actually sweet. I bet you that having growing up in a place where there's love, the emotional pattern is sweet, though it's not all rosy, you get. But when you work on this, I swear you're gonna be a better person. I didn't grow up from a home that has this emotional communication and all that. Well, I'm still talking about my home right now, but I actually grew. I grew, and I think I did that when I was in school. I think to see life in from a different dimension. I started to work on my emotions. I started to work on the way I feel things, the way I express myself. Normally, I used to be that girl that doesn't know how to express herself. Till now, I still fight over it, but I still try to come out of it. I want to be that person that knows how to express herself, how to communicate. I still want to be the best version of myself. I'm still working on it because I really want to have a sweet kid. So I'm actually sharing this not because I know it all or I'm perfect. I'm still working on myself, like I said earlier, especially when it has to do with communication. I want to be able to express myself. That's in vain emotional pattern. You should be able to express yourself, without being rude sometimes. So, like I was saying in the movie, a lot of people didn't actually have the chance that those couple girls get to get, because their marriage was being threatened, and they were almost going to divorce. And it took the man to think and realize that, oh, this is where I got it all wrong. I started it, I should be able to come back. But a lot of my marriages physically today didn't have that chance to work on their and work on themselves and get some amendments. They just shattered, and you left this woman shattered, you left this man shattered. And because they refused to understand and talk to themselves and realize how wrong, how to be corrected. So my darling, you should work on your emotional patterns. It's going to actually help your kids. You don't want to have a child that has been bullied emotionally. You don't want to have a child that's been blackmailed. So you have to work on yourself very well before you start to have kids. And it already influences the kind of person you are, the way people see you, the way people get to look at you when you talk, when you do things. Sometimes people are shocked and they're like, wow, why does he talk like this? Why does he behave like this? Why is she this rude? Why is she this nice? Oh, she's so sweet. You see, these things nobody actually get to have that on their own. What you watch, what drives you. You see your parents, the way they communicate, the way they relate to people. it has, my darling, it really has a very big part to play on your children. So when they go out of your house, of your home, they get to meet new people, they mingle, you know, these particular, these various traits they get from the house is going to tell on the outside. So the outsider are going to judge your children and going to say, oh, I love this person, the personality is so nice. You, the parents, I believe you'll be happy to have such children. So don't be surprised that what drives you as an adult today gets to drive your children tomorrow. So that brings me to my next point, which is values. The things you place values on, the things you place values on as an adult tomorrow. Don't be surprised that when you tend to have kids tomorrow, they also place value on such things. So as adults, you should watch, there's internet, the information spreads far. I know a lot of people say internet has done more harm than good. Instead of looking at for the bad, why not look at for the good, like what it has influenced? So you have to work on it. So your values today will actually determine the type of values, the belief that you are going to give to your children tomorrow. Because imagine you're teaching a kid what you don't practice, he or she is going to come out, if he or she is an expressive kid, is going to come out and say, Dad, you don't do this, why do you want me to do that? You will have so many questions. So to avoid those questions today, before you start having kids, work on yourself. You can actually break the bad habits, cut off those excesses, negativity, and you are going to on your own realize how important having good values, beliefs, and all that is going to work good for you and transfer to your children. Because you don't want to see a child that I'm excuse me, I'm very sure that nobody does not yearn, like no one that doesn't yearn for a good child. You want an amazing kid, you want an excellent kid, you want an outspoken kid, you want a child that is full of emotion, that knows how to communicate, that knows how to handle things. It has to start with you, because you can't be on the list. The last and not the least on my point today is self-concept, yeah, self-concept, as it implies. Well, I'll say it has to do with the full makeup of how get to perceive yourself. It's a kind of perception of yourself, what the impression, what you have for yourself as an adult, as an individual. One of the biggest reason to avoid comparison, because when you grow yourself as an adult, or you come from an environment that you have competitors, comparison, low self-esteem, jealousy, when you come outside of your home, no matter how you try to hide it, it's going to show, because that is the perception of yourself. That is how you've been viewed, because that is what you portray. That's before two conversations, with people, interactions. You gotta show that part of you out, and people are gonna see it. So if you realize and you've done a review on yourself, you have to check. That's why you have to check and balance yourself all the time. So when you've done that and you see that you have that, you have to work on yourself. You have to cut it out, because comparison is going to bring about jealousy, low self-esteem. And when this comes to yourself as an adult, it's going to really bring out a very bad perception of you. And our society today makes it look as if it's the norms, like it's normal. So when you start having kids, they are not going to see that it's bad. They are going to copy. And before you know, we have jealous kids. And the funny part about it, most of the parents get to see these kids and they see it as norms. They try to beat them, or they have it. That is why most times you see the kids too, they behave like that, but they don't just want to accept. One of the reasons to cut out of all this negative thing I've just said is the ability to accept and know that you have it in you. Then you begin to work work on it and cut the ones you don't want, and you know, manage yourself. So when you have kids, you know what to show to them, how to behave around them, how to play around them, how to communicate, how to impart whatever you want them to know. And it's not just imparting them because they are watching you. You can't tell a kid to do this and you're doing that. He or she is watching you. So you have to work on it because it's going to help a lot. So the negative energy, non-self, we have like I said we have jealous kids. Have you not wondered why they be like that, why they tend to behave like that? I think they got some of those traits. Ask their parents, watch their parents closely. So you don't want to be what your kids, I'm sorry, I mean, you don't want your kids to be what you don't have. So be something that is good so that your kids can copy. So, and I think next on my list was supposed to be ability, but I'll just say you should work smart in all of that. So that brings me to the end of my video today, and if this video makes sense to you, you enjoy a clip of this video, share to your loved ones, share, and give a thumbs up to this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye, and I love